lot of people want to know if Darrell Brooks Jr. will ever make videos from prison. How's it going, everyone? This is Christian Duke. You're watching Sight Sounds Flavors on YouTube, sightsoundsflavors.com. If at any point in time you like this video, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. That really, really helps us. If you want to do something that'll make me feel warm and fuzzy inside, then subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications so you won't miss a single video. And please leave comments down, because your comments down below are what inspire me a lot of times to make new videos. So, look, here's the thing. If you've ever been on TikTok, or if you've been on Instagram, or if you've been on whatever else, you know that prisoners sneak phones in all the time. Now, me personally, I think it's very bizarre for a prisoner to do any kind of a live feed from prison, because they're indicting themselves. You know, the phone's contraband. Them being on the internet is probably going to get them like points or demerits or whatever they do in there, you know, and then the phone's probably going to get confiscated, or another prisoner's going to beat them up and take it. I don't know, but they do it. And the question that I received from Margie in Portland, Oregon, Margie, thank you very much for your email. Again, I don't know how some of you have this was actually my work email, which is a little frightening, but that's okay. I appreciate it, and it's a great question. Will Darrell Brooks ever do something like that? I mean, I guess there's that chance, but I feel like if he did it, being that he's so high profile, he wouldn't get into like 2 or 3 minutes of the live stream. I feel like prison guards, prison staff would be on him like white on rice. They would take the phone, and they would probably make it as to where he could never get one into his hands again. However, I know a lot of COs, corrections officers, for my time in bodybuilding. I write for ironmagazine.com. I run strengthaddicts.com. We've got the Strength Addicts YouTube channel as well, if anybody's interested in that. And corrections officers tell me all the time how crafty prisoners can be. You know, they can make explosives in there with powdered milk. They can make wine with, you know, various different fruits that they have in there, and cocktails and that sort of thing. They can make lighters. They can do all sorts of things. And if they have access to a microwave, you know, in commissary, they can actually make pretty decent tasting food. I mean, some of the CEOs have told me that sometimes the smells that come out of those microwaves and come out of the cells where they're cooking, you would think that you were walking by a restaurant. I mean, again, the creativity is second to none, because again, they don't have access to pretty much anything. But you have a prisoner that works in the kitchen, they'll sneak stuff back. You've got people with good commissary, you got people with a microwave, you've got people that are making like stoves in there. I mean, because if they can make a lighter, they can make a stove. And again, you know, the ingenuity is just, I mean, it's crazy. And so the same way they can also make and hide weapons, they can also bring in phones and do lives. And some of them, which I don't even know how this is possible, actually have their social medias monetized, probably using somebody on the outside, their information. Then they, you know, make the content, and the person gets paid, and then they somehow get the money. I don't know how that works, but it's happening, and it's happening quite a bit. And it makes you wonder if there's, I don't think there's complicity with prison staff. It's more so probably a matter of them just not being able to see everything at all times. And again, you can have something else that my CEO friends tell me. You can have cameras in every nook and cranny of a prison, and there's still going to be so many blind spots. The prisoners know where they are. They study the facility. They study the cameras. They study the COs. They study the patterns. Again, remember, all they have on their hands is time. So, you know, COs, while they have the guns, they've got the towers, the computers, the cameras, they're always at a substantial disadvantage, because the prisoners, they live there 24/7. They don't get to go home. They're there. That's home. And so, you know, I don't think that there's really all that much doubt that Darrell could get his hands on a phone. What I do think it's doubtful, and I'm not talking about some, you know, Nokia flip phone. Nothing against Nokia flip phones. I had one too a long time ago. I'm talking about a smartphone, whether it's some sort of a Droid or a Google phone or an iPhone, but I'm talking about an actual smartphone capable of recording high quality video to be released later, or to produce high quality live streams. And the other question is, well, how do they even get online? I mean, is the Wi-Fi on the phone strong enough, or would they have to connect to a network? I highly doubt that they're connecting to networks, because those are usually secured and they would need the password. But then again, you're talking about a prison, and there's all sorts of people in a prison that have committed all sorts of crimes, and there's probably people in there that are pretty good with computers. Maybe there's some hackers in there. You never know. And hackers, they like ramen noodles, and they like summer sausage, and they like the big pickles. You know what I mean? So maybe if Bubba walks up to a cyber hacker and says, "Hey, I'll slip you a good pickle and some summer sausage if you're able to you're able to get me the password for the internet." You know what I mean? And it's like Warden's Rule 34 asterisk. There you go. You know what I mean? Something like that. Now all of a sudden they have internet access, and maybe it's not even so complicated. Maybe it doesn't require Bubba to slip, I don't know, Paul the summer sausage. Maybe a CO will free up that info. I mean, 99.9%, it's probably not that high, but 99.9% of COs are good, honest people. But all it takes is one apple to ruin the bunch. And so you might have, and it may not even be a corrupt CO. It might just be a CO that happens to think an inmate is innocent. They feel bad and they know they're innocent. There's people in there that are innocent, but because of loopholes, protocols, because of whatever, bad public defenders, bad private lawyers, bad judge, whatever, but it's clear as day they're innocent. Or maybe they're not so innocent. Maybe the CO just feels bad for the guy. Says, here's the password. Keep it to yourself. Obviously, he's not going to keep it to himself. And probably the CO knows he's not going to keep it to himself. Doesn't care. The reality of the matter, though, is that in a prison, though, getting the password to the internet is not as hard as getting a phone into an inmate from the outside. You know what I mean? In a laundry basket, whatever. Have I been watching too many movies? Maybe, but it happens all the time. And my friends confirm it and tell me about it. I mean, to make explosives out of powdered milk, I mean, what are we talking about here? They know how to do everything. So, but the bigger question, though, is the people that do this are usually no names. Somebody putting out a rap song that they made in their cell that sounds like worse than what Darrell did with the studio. They're talking to their baby mamas. They're talking to, Paco down the street. They're talking to whatever. They're not, a high profile inmate, trying to get some clout from prison. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Maybe he'll get on there once, maybe. But I don't see that happening. I mean, and again, with everything I've said about COs, everything I've said about how easy it is for prisoners. Listen, let me tell you, the movie Shot Caller also is a good one because the guys are in lockdown 23 hours out of the day. They only come out 1 hour to exercise. And unlike the movie Shot Caller where they're like 4 like box cages or whatever, and they can see and talk to each other, a lot of places, they don't even have that. Literally, their outdoor time is a room that has some sort of outward visibility, and there's nobody there but them. Like those Supermax. But even there, they're able to kite stuff. They can get messages out. How, I don't know. But again, those are your like high profile gang people like El Chapo and people like that. Darrell is not under those security constraints. In fact, Darrell's probably under very lax security constraints because he's going to be in segregated populations. So again, maybe it'll be even easier for him to get his hands on a phone. But the thing is, it would be a one and done because once he did it, he'll never do it again. It just wouldn't happen. So I don't think so. I don't think so. But for a one and done, would he do it? And when would that one and done be? Would it be now? Or would it be in 5 years? Would it be in 10 years? I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. But what do you guys think?